What's up, spectators? Welcome back to another episode of Is Attorney Investigations. Last time we proved that Larry Butts was trying to find Minnie, trying to get into Minnie's room through the chimney, but that still doesn't prove that he didn't murder Damask too, so that's why we're talking with Lang now. Let's go ahead and talk with Lang. I was the one who found the body of the victim, Damask 2. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be in the steel samurai's dressing room, but I found it in here instead. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect, Larry Butts, in here too. Isn't it a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership? But this owner wanted to sneak onto the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you?
Hold it!
If you're alluding to his reason for being by the chimney, we've already established that. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are longtime friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi? You're accusing me of fabricating evidence? You think I can believe anything you produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do. This man has some serious issues with prosecutors. But come on, I can't think up something as complicated as that, right, Edgy? Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. But Agent Lang knows nothing about you, or me for that matter. I sense his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. Meaning that the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence. I was the one who found the body of the victim, Damask 2.
Hold it!
So you were the first to discover the body this time. This time? What's that supposed to mean? You better watch what you say! I only said this time because earlier, Kay was the first to discover the body in Babal. And your secretary, Agent Sheena, was ready to accuse her of murder for that. Ha! So you gonna use that excuse to call me suspicious now? Of course not. I was simply pointing out the usual pattern with discoveries of bodies. Discoverers. But in the Babalese case, there was proof that she was holding the weapon, right? Well, in this one, it's a bit different since we know exactly where the weapon is. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red, blah blah blah. Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up the scent of blood? Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean the sight and smell of blood, of course. And according to the tests, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. The sword was made to only be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it is pretty weighty. It's certainly heavy enough to beat someone to death with. Which leads me to suspect that the victim was beaten to death with the sword. Beaten to death, huh? This last statement is too important to just let it slip by. Ah, but it was a stabbing, wasn't it? So... Wait, hold on a minute. Yeah, this one. Let's see. So, where is... Do we not have the details from Damask 2? Huh. Well, if he was beaten, it's certain... It's not right.
Objection!
Shoot! No! Okay, I got it. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Crap. Alright. Ah, here it is. Beat the victim to death. They added the statement. I didn't realize.
Objection!
What? No, what are you talking about? No. Come on. Oh.
Hold it!
About this samurai sword. Have you received a report from forensics yet? They confirmed that the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. Alright, but have they confirmed that the outline of his wound is consistent with the weapon? Tell me something. Do you see the dead body right there in front of you? So, if they were conducting the autopsy right now, shouldn't that body not be here? Well... I suppose so. I guess they must still be investigating this room. meaning that it's possible he doesn't know about that piece of evidence's true nature. Anything else you'd like to chit-chat about? No? Good. Now let's continue. It was supposed to be in the Steel Samurai's dressing room.
Hold it!
Larry has already testified that he forgot the samurai sword here. Yeah, I was shaking hands with the ambassador in here and I left it behind by accident.
Not so fast!
So what? You lied earlier, so who's to say that this excuse isn't just another lie? But I forget stuff all the time, right, Edgy? Tell him. Why don't you tell him yourself? You see? What did I tell you earlier? No one will buy such a pathetically weak excuse. Yes, well, I know that it's not possible to prove such an excuse is truth. And yet you offer it up as fact? You're a worse person than I originally thought. You are free to think what you'd like, but I know that Larry is not the killer. Agent Lang, please continue with your argument. I'll expose the flaw in it soon enough. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect Larry Butts, in here too.
Hold it!
Just because he's the owner of the weapon, therefore he must be the killer, is it? No. Climbing all the way up to the chimney is plenty suspicious in my book as well.
Objection!
Regarding that, I've already drawn the truth out, and the truth is one thing I don't bend.
Not so fast!
It doesn't matter if it's you or whoever. You prosecutors are all the same. And as for me, prosecutors are the one thing I don't trust in.
Objection!
An agent who doesn't trust prosecutors? What are you playing at? Sorry, sis. But there are only two things I trust: my subordinates and evidence at the crime scene. Agent Lang hates prosecutors. But as long as he trusts evidence that has been left at a crime scene, then there is something I can show him that he can believe in. It's simply not possible that the samurai sword is the real murder weapon. So I should focus on proving that point to Agent Lang first. I feel like they want me to talk about the spear, but I don't know. How does that help me? I'm gonna try it, but I don't know if it's gonna work. So where? The spear.
Objection!
Damn it, it's wrong. Ah.
Objection!
No, it's not the knife either. What the heck is it? Okay. So I had the wrong idea. I presented the sword with this statement about beating to death, but what I needed to do was present the spear to illustrate that the weapons aren't strong enough or sturdy enough to actually murder anyone with.
Objection!
That's what I was doing wrong. Damn it. Do you know what this is, Agent Lang? It's a long spear, right? We used to use those a lot in my country a long time ago. Piercing, mowing people down, spears are the weapon of heroes throughout history. It's the next most effective weapon after the whip. I think the whip is in a slightly different category. So what's your point? You gonna tell me that the spear is the real weapon? No. I simply want you to take a look at this section here. The way it's bent? Precisely. Apparently, a certain troublemaker hit it against a wall in this embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, the insides of the Steel Samurai's weapon are hollow. In other words, they're replicas that aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow, let alone the multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And yet there's not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that? Ayah! Oh yeah, the sword and the spear are made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. But I wish they'd make them out of better stuff, because the spear got bent. I wasn't able to do my special early summer rain jab move. Man, I got such an earful from the director of the play for not doing it in the show. The Steel Samurai's special move was changed tonight because of him? That's more than enough of your whiny whimpering. Now, back on the topic of the spear. Yes, let's return to the real topic of discussion. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se, so all I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may. Using guesswork and taking risks in place of real logic is hardly the Von Karma way. It's neither smart nor very clever. Miss Von Karma, as you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. But perhaps it is for the best if it remains unbroken. But that doesn't make sense, because this game takes place after the third one. Wait. Yeah, he was already beaten. By Phoenix. I don't understand. For no one should have conceived of the notion to convict all defendants in the first place.
Objection!
What a foolishly foolish statement from a foolish fool who hates to lose. It's the job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in court. There is nothing more important in this world than a perfect victory.
Hold it!
That may be your opinion, but I don't believe that's all we are. As a prosecutor, what I pursue is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. And if that means that the bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet, then let it crumble as I walk on towards the truth.
Knuckle back!
You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. I'd like you to consider, if you will, the possibility that the sword was used in such a way that the attack killed Damask 2 without bending it. So, what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what to do here, right? And what you need. Of course. What I need is evidence even Agent Lang can't refute. This is it. It's time to bring this to a close. It's possible to use the samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy, top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. So isn't it only natural that suspicion would fall onto the owner of said weapon? How long do you intend to cling on to that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we examined every corner within the walls of this embassy. There's no stone we've left unturned. And we've managed to come up with only one logical conclusion. That the only place inside this embassy with the victim's blood on it is this sword.
Hold it!
You left no stone unturned? Is that a fact?
Knuckle back!
If you've got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it all crystal clear for you. It's possible to use the samurai sword to kill someone.
Hold it!
May I inquire as to how? Are you able to make such a claim, Agent Lang? Lang Shi says, capable of miracles beyond comprehension. A mysterious creature is man. Rather than man, it's Agent Lang's quotes that are getting increasingly incomprehensible. The human body is a mysterious thing, even with a toy-like sword. It's easy to kill a man if you hit just the right spot. Which is why I think it's possible to kill with this thing without leaving a dent.
Hold it!
But we can only be sure one way or the other by seeing if the wound matches the sword. I know that. But as long as it's a possibility, I can proclaim it as much as I'd like. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion.
Hold it!
But you must know that your conclusion is wrong. Given the circumstances I'm in. Circumstance, dear lord. I tried to correct my mistake by reading the wrong word. That's great. The only people I can trust are my subordinates. Because they're a much more trustworthy bunch than you prosecutors will ever be.
Hold it!
And you call yourself a professional?
Knuckle back!
You still don't see, do you, Mr. Prosecutor? You have to earn my trust. And the only way to do that is to show me proof of another possible murder weapon. Another possible weapon. In this room, there's only one other thing left. This is gonna be a gamble, but I can't withdraw from the game now. You're not gonna get me to trust you by the power of your glare alone, you know. Plus, I have the other reasons as to why I think the samurai sword is the murder weapon. Maybe, do I present the scabbard here?
Objection!
Shoot, that's wrong. Well, I know it's what, been only 16 minutes, but I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm having a really hard time reading today. I'm not really sure what's going on here. My throat is killing me. So I think I'm just gonna go and end this here because it's starting to affect the quality of the video. So I apologize for cutting it 4 minutes short, but stay tuned tomorrow for the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.